Alright, this is just a short video for entertainment purposes or educational purposes, whatever. Disclaimer, I'm not an attorney, I don't give legal advice. All rights reserved, this is private property. Do not trespass. Merely sharing what I've learned with others. Right, so assistance of counsel. I wanted to make a video about assistance of counsel because here's been something that's keeping us as men and women not equal in the courtroom, is not having an effective assistance of counsel. Now, I did a lot of research, and I'm tired of keeping this information to myself, and I'm tired of talking to people who don't want to hear about it, and so I'm just going to make a video. And I'm starting to like this. Assistance of counsel. I've already done the research, so I'm just gonna tell you what it's called, and you can do your own in-depth research. You know, get your head in a book, do some research online. Don't believe everything you hear. Basically, I have about 10 areas here that I would suggest you look up, and this is going to help you, those of you who have people close enough to you that are willing to stand lawfully next to you as an assistance of counsel, and help you remember things that you need to get on the record that needs to be said, or you know, just to be there as an effective assistance of counsel to help each other and protect each other. If you want somebody to do that that's not a licensed member of the bar, which I wouldn't suggest anybody become a member of the bar, because as far as I understand, bar is it's an acronym, I think, for British Accredited Registry. Now that's a foreign government entity, or a foreign to this country, or whatever you want to call it. But it's a British it's a British membership club that they claim to have some type of right that you have to be licensed by this club membership, when really it's a membership card, because as far as I understand, the bar does not issue licenses. So if you guys, those of you who are proceeding pro se, in prior persona, pro per, sui juris, you're standing as your own counsel, you know, whatever legal or lawful or word usage, whatever you want to call it, if you are the one trying to defend and stand for the truth and protect yourself from, you know, frivolous and spurious charges, but you want some assistance of counsel, or you need some assistance of counsel, and you want to exercise the right to effective assistance of counsel, or for those of you who want to act as an ombudsman for someone, look up the word ombudsman, study it, do different searches on different search engines so that there's not this BS filtration, that you can actually find stuff that you're looking for that's either being hidden or pushed down to page number 18. You know, try to do multiple different searches and research an ombudsman, what an ombudsman does, what kind of power does an ombudsman have, what kind of jurisdiction is an ombudsman in, does an ombudsman have to be required to take certain tests, or, you know, and just research what an ombudsman is. For those of you who are trying to protect your brothers and sisters, and just other men and women in this world that are being abused by the system, I would really suggest researching what I share with you, and putting those who you are doing these discussions with, which they call them court, and those of you who are you know, anyone who's trying to help other people, this information is for you, and anyone that's trying to get other people's help, this information is for you. So here we go. Number 1, amicus curiae. Now, I don't know anybody who wants or likes to be in court, but if there's someone out there that's just sick and tired of the corruption, and this is your town or your city or your home, this is where you grew up, this is where you live, this is your planet, you're taking claim to the area that you're in, and you're saying, listen, you know, I may not be qualified as a resident of the state, but, you know, I'm a man on the land, and, you know, I claim this is my territory, and I want truth and justice to happen here in this court. You know, so if you have the time, the resources, the energy, or the motivation to go sit in court and stand up with the protection or within amicus curiae or under amicus curiae on top of whatever, however you want to say it, amicus curiae, look it up. Number 2 is the McKinsey friend. Now, these are all just things that I found. I did a little bit of research for each one, enough to know that there are other options than just being a licensed attorney, which doesn't even make sense, or a licensed bar member. None of it's even lines up with the foundational principles of law in this country. But, anyways, these are things that it could give. So here's the thing. If the judge could be held or impeached for allowing someone to have someone defend them that's not a bar member, I don't know, does that judge face impeachment by the bar if he's a bar member? Because they're required to protect the practice of law or whatever. So I don't know, maybe they don't have an out, and using this information you can provide them an out, or to say, hey, I let him have an effective assistance of counsel of his choice. He's sui juris, or whatever. He's his own defense. He's his own counsel, or he has selected this other man or woman to be an assistance of counsel. That's his choice. I can't step on his rights. I can't prevent him from doing what he has a lawful right to do, and he needs something to stand on. It should not be our burden to show the judge, you know, where he's protected in law. But if you want him to act honorably, and he's not behaving so out of fear or corruption or whatever, but at least you can put this out there, at least you can put it on notice, and at least you have somewhere to work with. So we've got amicus curiae, we've got McKinsey friend. Number 3, we've got next friend. You can look this up in Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, Rule 1728. Or it's Rule 17, but I think you can also find it, I think it's the same thing, 28 United States Code, USCA. That's what I have written down. Okay, number 4, retention of civilian counsel, 32 CFR 150.12. Now, a man I was talking to who is a bar member explained to me that that's for military, but if we're really in a war zone, and this country has been at war since the Civil War, and there's never been a declaration of peace or anything like that, then technically we're all within a military zone. You know, I don't know. But it's something worth looking up. Retention of civilian counsel, 32 CFR 150.12. You've also got standby counsel, number 5. Standby counsel, look it up. Right to effective assistance of counsel. That's just a right, and that's something that you can look up and study in accordance with the Constitution and all that. You can also look up if the state wants to argue that you're required to be a member, and they're going based off of state law. Look in their Constitution and show them where they're wrong. If their Constitution says, you know, that you have the right to effective assistance of counsel, say, hey, nowhere in here does it say that, you know, from me, a man, to have assistance of counsel, or a friend come here to help me, you know, to defend this case. You know, even your Constitution says that you're in breach of your oath, or you're in breach of fiduciary duties or whatever. So you can show them even on their own standing that they have no standing to deny the right of effective assistance of counsel. Number 7 is giving a friend power of attorney. Now, I don't even like the word attorney because I don't really understand it. But And I think the rest of these really pertain to that, giving a friend power of attorney. Uh, just by saying, I'm just going to let him speak for me because I'm not really good at speaking. He's my spokesperson. So I've given him the power to speak on my behalf. If there's any type of objection I have, we'll work it out before he puts it on the record or to make a correction to the record. Number 8 is standing and proceeding as sui juris. So if you understand sui juris, you have to really understand what that is, because if you just go in there and you start shouting out Latin terms and sui juris or amicus curiae, and you don't really understand it, you're just going to make a fool of yourself, and you're just going to put yourself in a position where the judge says, I can do whatever I want to this guy because he's just a fool, and he doesn't even know what he's doing, and he's a liar because he's just trying to use things to get out of this ticket or get out of having to pay this debt. So make sure you do study and understand what it is. Do like you used to do in school. Write the word and see if you remember the definition of it, and just study what it means and what each word in the definition means, and research it and apply it to yourself. If you're going to claim that you are a free man, but you put yourself in a position of subject status by all these different things that they have in the system, well, your actions speak louder than words. Either you are a free man, a sovereign on the land, not a sovereign citizen. I mean, if you hold a strong belief that if they're looking for some type of citizenship, which they don't even recognize this, a citizen of heaven is different from a citizen of any earthly realm. So there's scriptures that explain that we are citizens of heaven, and that we're sojourners on this planet, on this earth, on this land. And so before you start using words to try and put yourself in a better position, what you're really doing, if you don't exercise due diligence and you don't do what needs to be done to put yourself to be able to use that word, you're putting yourself in a position of being a liar, and you're putting yourself in a position of dishonor. So if you do that by choice, that's your fault. You get yourself into that mess. You get yourself out of it, or they're just going to have their way with you. Number 9 is partner. You could even have a partner of your husband or wife on religious grounds. I don't know. Actually, this just sparked a further curiosity. Religious exemption to court rules or state law. Okay, so if they're saying that if the state statute is the law and that it's against court rules or the court procedures to have someone that is not a licensed attorney, which doesn't even make sense, you can claim a religious exemption if you want your spouse to be there. If you say, this is my partner, this is my spouse, the scriptures tell you stand on God's word, and you stand on the rock, and you show them the scripture if you have to, where it says that let what God has joined together, let no man separate. And you can say, if you're bringing a charge against me, you're bringing a charge against her, and she is me, and I am her. We are one flesh. She's my partner. You can't. And if you do, you have a discrimination claim, a hate crime. Okay, so because they're hating on you and they're splitting you guys up, going against God, going against the religious exemption, you've got a lot of options here, you guys, to help each other out and defend each other. And I found all this stuff out. I just got no one that's willing to go to bat with me and take a beating. Even though we shouldn't have to, I don't have anyone that's willing to do that. That's close enough to me that can help me out. You also have number 10 is assistant. Now you have the right. This goes back to the right to effective assistance of counsel. You have the right to an assistant. I mean, why can't you have an assistant? So if you say, hey, look, I'm fumbling all these papers. I can't take notes fast enough. You guys are saying I'm I'm encumbering the court. I'm wasting the court's time by all these questions I'm asking. I'm forgetting to ask questions because it's a little intimidating. So I just need my assistant with me. Okay. Now I don't know if there is any law, or if you guys could share something with me, or even common law, like Supreme Court rulings, or anything that protects or allows this, to have an assistant with you, you know, for whatever proceedings. That would be awesome if you guys could share that information. Number 11, witness. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about witnesses. So if you understand that what's happening in court is they're administering a trust, or they're bringing charges against a legal fiction, or whatever's happening, but the reality is that they are going after a legal fiction, and they're trying to get you as a man to be surety for a debt. Look up things called a bill of attainder and a writ of assistance, and look up how lawful or unlawful those things are. Also look up pennage. Okay, sorry, I'm just writing stuff that's coming to mind. Okay. Yeah, but as a witness, there are laws. I don't have them written down here because I didn't go in depth on this video. I was kind of hoping it would be a shorter one. But witnesses, there are witness protection laws. And are you not a witness to your defense? Are you not obviously a witness? I mean, you were there. You saw it with your own two eyes. You observed what happened. You are a witness. Okay? But again, you cannot be compelled to be a witness against yourself. So you can say, I am a witness to the fraud. I'm a witness to these proceedings. I'm a witness in this case. I'm a witness to these charges, these frivolous and spurious charges. But I'm not compelled to be a witness against myself. But it is in fact truth that you are a witness. And so if you can apply witness tampering, you can take the position to defend your friend, or even a friend or someone that comes with you says, hey, he is a witness, and I need him right next to me to witness exactly what's being said, who's saying it. I need him with me as a witness to these proceedings. And he can be a witness and stand there and see everything that happens. I mean, I don't know all the rules and laws, and if there's any, other protections for witnesses or witness tampering, but those are just something that I've been studying and learning, and because we all need to come together to protect each other. There is strength in numbers, and that is the only way we're going to overcome this, is if we all come together peacefully and protect and defend each other in the interest of justice and the protection of freedom for now and for future generations. So we need to stop being selfish and greedy and take the responsibility of this planet into our own hands and protect one another from greed and protect one another from coercion and harm. We have that obligation to one another. So just again, you guys, amicus curiae, Mackenzie friend, next friend, that is Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, rule number 17. You can also find it, I guess, at 28 USCA. Retention of civilian counsel is 32 CFR 150.12. Standby counsel, right to effective assistance of counsel, giving a friend power of attorney, standing and proceeding as sui juris or pro se, or in propria persona. But I don't know if that would. I don't know if this would actually remove. Well, if you're proceeding as pro se, you reserve the right to assistance of counsel as a pro se litigant. I don't really know how that all works. Do your own study. I'm just giving you guys the direction, and you can trudge the court. You can go ahead and figure it out from there. Standing, okay, partner, religious exemption, to they're committing a hate crime if they're gonna discriminate. And then assistant. I don't know if you guys could share anything on having an assistant or a witness protection, standby counsel, Mackenzie friend, amicus curiae. And just being an ombudsman. I think I mentioned that earlier, but being an ombudsman, it's OMBUDSMAN. There's ombudsman I found in many other countries, but in America, or the United States of America, there's slim to none. And from this book I've been reading, it's a pretty cool position to be in, because you've got all these, you have a lot of power as an ombudsman, and then but remember, before you use this term to call yourself an ombudsman, you really need to understand what it is, because if you don't, you're just going to get yourself in trouble, and you're just going to be a liar. I mean, that's the truth of it. If you start using stuff you don't understand, and you claim you understand what you're saying, you understand what you're doing, you're just a liar. I mean, you've got to really know what you're talking about before you start claiming to be something that you may think you are, but you don't really know. I mean, I shouldn't have to say this, but not everybody is on the same level of thinking, and some people think that, oh, lying is normal, it's okay, but it's not. I mean, that's pretty sad that I have to clarify that. But I don't want to, I want to make sure, I guess maybe doing videos is not really a good way of doing it, but I don't want to be casting pearls to swine. And that's something out of the Bible that talks, to me it explains, don't take stuff that is valuable and throw it to give it to anyone or anything that's going to treat it as invaluable, because soon they will turn on you and attack you. So this information is for men and women of a competent mind, or of a sound mind, that are truthful and honest. I don't know, maybe I should restrict this video, I don't really know, but I do know that the truth will come out, and even if people abuse this information, it doesn't matter, because once the information's out and people start exercising their rights, everyone will be able to know who the liars are and who really aren't these things that they say they are, and their actions will find them out, and the truth will always find them out. So it doesn't even really matter. It's not like we should hush this stuff. So the truth will always prevail. So again, assistance of counsel, these are different ways that I just stated in this video that you guys can actually protect each other, come together, and help other people. Now, if there's anyone that's well versed in the law and is willing to come and stand by me when I go to court and do my thing, I would more than welcome it. I don't have any way to pay you. I don't have any way to provide for you. But if there's anyone out there that has a knowledgeable position where they can actually be an effective assistance of counsel, I'd love to talk to you. I think it would just be great if we all just started coming together and sharing information and sharing knowledge. I'm currently working on a writ of habeas corpus and a writ of quo warranto. Yeah, so we've all got our own tasks and our own duties and our own work ahead of us. But just remember, guys, the sooner we come together and the sooner we start protecting and defending each other, is the sooner the corruption will start going away. The sooner that we'll start living in a more peaceful society. And yeah, so I think that's enough of my rant. And have a good one.